Hello, hello. Welcome to Sparkle.Sanctuary. My name's Rebecca. I'm so glad you're joining today. I have an unboxing. This is going to be part one of the Margaret Morales images that I recently picked up. I actually got 4 of them. And then I also picked up 2 other images. I had a couple coupons and things, and so I went ahead and got some of the items that I'd been wanting while they were back in stock. So today we will look at Hades and Persephone and Alice and Roses by Margaret Morales from Diamond Art Club. So I'll go ahead and get started. This one, I just am trying, I don't want to collect every single Margaret Morales that Diamond Art Club puts out, but I definitely am a huge fan of her artwork, so I'm going to pick up the ones that I can. This box, the cling wrap, the saran wrap on the outside of this box was already kind of open, so we'll go ahead and just get started with this one. So the outside of the box has an image of, or a little bit of a preview of the image, and there is the thumbnail of the image that we're looking at. And so Alice and Roses by Margaret Morales is 22 by 30 inches or 55.6 by 75.9 centimeters. All of the boxes have Diamond Art Club here. This indicates that the kit is a round kit because it says round here, but that the shape here is round. It's also pink and the square is blue, so this one is going to be square. It does say it's all inclusive. And then here's another thumbnail. It says it is 64 colors, including 2 ABs or Aurora Borealis, and I'll show those a little bit more, and 4 fairy dust diamonds. It does give you the total amount of diamonds. And then there's a SKU number here. This matches the SKU number that's on the sticker sheet. It matches the SKU number that is on the diamonds, and it also matches the SKU number that is on the canvas itself. So that's very helpful if you keep them separate or if you want to make sure you keep them all together. Here's Diamond Art Club socials. And then that picture wraps around the side of the box here. And on the box, the back of the box, there are how-to tips and tricks, kit contents, and then the warranty information, and then just a little bit about where it's made. On the other side, it does say Unleash Your Inner Artist, and there's the rest of that image. The top just says DIY Diamond Art Kit, and the bottom does have the CPU number, the name of the kit, and another thumbnail. This way you can actually store your images in a lot of different ways if you keep them in the boxes, so that's kind of cool. So I'll open this from the bottom. There's like a little place here where you can pull your image out. Put that set aside. So in the box comes a toolkit, and I'll show you everything about this box, and then I won't show you quite as much about that one. That way we can kind of keep this video a little bit shorter. So inside this toolkit, it says the contents are a twist and pick up applicator with wax and multi-placer, a wax refill, a stackable tray with lid and stopper, and then reusable baggies. So there's the reusable baggies. Here's the pin that it comes with. So the pin is actually, there's a pop-off pin, and then it's got a metal tip. And then inside of here is wax. If you unscrew it, you can fill the wax in here. Just pop this out, put the wax in there, and then you put this back together. And as you screw this top up, the wax actually comes out the end here as you slowly move it. And then you can kind of see the wax coming through up into the tip of the pin right there. Oh, I just dropped the lid. And it does slowly come up, but you can actually make it go up too fast. And if you end up overloading it, or you get the wax to come up too fast, then you can always take off the end of the wax and stick it back in. It comes with a 4-placer attached onto here. And then here is the stackable tray. So there is a top that goes on here. Sometimes have a hard time getting these lids off. So anyway, there's the lid. It comes off. It does have a stopper. And then there is a heart-shaped wax in here. And then there is a clear wax as well in here. And then there is a 7-placer in there. And then what they were talking about it being stackable, it says Diamond Art Club here. Not sure if I'll be able to get that on screen. There you go. But if you look, there's a lip here, and you can actually stack these trays on top of each other while you're using them. So if you wanted to kit up with multiple trays, you could do that. So I'll go ahead and throw these back in here really fast. And then there's a lip that's inside of here. And so you just make sure that you line that up to slide the lid back on the tray, which I did not. There you go. And then it clips into place, and then it's pretty stable. I have dropped a couple of these, and a couple of them have popped open, but this one is really tight on there. I bet that would not pop apart. So, but yeah, so there is the toolkit. So we'll get into this. We'll pull the canvas out. It does come in a dust sleeve with the Diamond Art Club logo on it. So it says, do what makes you sparkle. And then it just has a little glue line here, and you can open these right up. That opened up nicely, and you can pull the kit out of the plastic. So slip that there. Really fast. Inside the box still is it's kind of like an envelope. It says thank you for your purchase, and it says that again on the back. If you get this kind, you just kind of squeeze the little diamond levers together. I've seen different versions of this, so I never know what I'm going to get, but you open it up kind of like an invitation, and then there are their socials, the tips and tricks. I did get a treasure quest card. It looks like it's a bronze. And then 20% off if you use the app. But you only get that the one time. There's the Facebook group. There's usually like a discount code in the VIP Facebook group. And then the kit contents. And then step-by-step instructions on the back. And then also it comes with this little leaflet. This diamond here is a sticker. This is a sticker. Alice and Roses by Margaret Morales is a sticker. On the back, this is a sticker. Actually, that's two separate ones. So has your start date and end date. That one is a sticker, and then this is another, and then this down here is another sticker, and it has the diamond colors is 64, round shape, canvas size, and the SKU number. And then when you open that up, it has all of the colors that are on this in this image. So all of these, there are 64 colors, and it looks like the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are going to be special diamonds. It's 2 ABs and 4 fairy dust, as it said. There are, if you notice, a couple of 6,000 numbers. That is not normal to the DMC color code. Diamond Art Club makes their own drills in-house, and that's usually shades of purple that I've seen. So they have been coming up with additional colors that are not necessarily available through regular DMC drills, and those are based on floss, DMC floss. So I'm going to move this image out of the way really fast, and I will show you this one. So at the top, you have their logo branding, Do What Makes You Sparkle Diamond Art Club. It looks like the plastic on this has the gray lines on it, which is so much nicer than the pink. I think that those are a little bit less invasive. You do have the schematic on the top left so that you can see all of the DMC numbers and symbols. And then, oh, look at her pretty face. Look at all those roses. This is going to be really nice. This is going to be, so I tend to like what's called color blocking confetti. I'll explain that here in a minute. This looks like it's going to have a lot of that, and that kind of makes me excited. So I'll keep scrolling down here. Here's the diamonds. And then you have the schematic on the bottom right. And then here is the lifetime warranty information at the bottom right side of the canvas. Then there is their socials in the bottom middle. And then again, the information about the canvas with their the name of the artist. There's the SKU number, and the thumbnail is right there as well. As you can see, the canvas is lying pretty flat already. I'm just going to pull this side up and pull that back just a slight bit. Yeah, she's laying nice and flat already. That's amazing. Okay, so what I was trying to allude to, so there's confetti and there's color blocking when we're looking at canvases. Confetti is when you have a bunch of color changes in a small area. You have to keep changing out your pin, your diamonds that you have in your tray. And I don't see any area that's like super confetti heavy. Like this maybe portion of her dress here, where you see there's color changes, or maybe this right here on her dress. And some in her hair, but even that is a little bit of line blocking. So, but color blocking is when you have like this letter N here. This is all one shade, and so you're going to be able to multi-place very easily. And what I like is the combination. It's what people have termed color blocking confetti, where you have small areas of color blocking, but they're kind of close together so that it's not one large area of color blocking and it's also not a ton of confetti. This just allows for, like, it makes things continue to move along faster, but it also has a lot of color changes, so it doesn't get boring. I tend to really like that. So the plastic that I was talking about on this canvas, it is lined and then perforated. So if you see here, this tears apart, and then you can section it off that way, or you can section it off however you want to, honestly. These look like the shape here. If I could keep it in frame, I'm sorry. This is about the size of what each square looks like. So this is one square. That's actually a kind of a perfect size area for a round diamond painting. And honestly, that's probably a better size for me for square. I do like to do bigger sections, but with as many colors as this has, it may be better for that. So anyway, do a quick glance over again. And then I will show you the colors of diamonds. All right, this is really pretty. I didn't originally want this image, but after I saw it, I could not help myself and ended up getting, I saw it unboxed by somebody else and I had to get it. And so I was really glad that it came available again. And then I had, coupons and points available so that I could make all these purchases for all the Margaret Morales images that came available again. So you see that they're all wrapped up in the packaging, and the outside has the name of the kit, Alice in Roses, and then there's the SKU number again. So like I said, it's listed on everything. The only thing it's not listed on are the bags of diamonds themselves, because those have the DMC number on them. So I will go ahead and unroll this and kind of go through these. So we have 3350, 3740, 336, 962, 3733, 961. Here's one of their 6,000 numbers, 6020, 915, 3708, 415, 315, 3041. Here's our first AB. So AB stands for Aurora Borealis. It has an iridescent coating on the top, and it's supposed to shine kind of like the northern lights. And so this one is a green. This one, AB 3348, is a check symbol. So it looks like there's little, it looks basically like a lot of these areas where there's greenery in here, there's just like a little lighter check mark. I see some in the top over here too. So that one's just kind of spread out. Here's some more, here's some more. So up there, up in here, there's some check marks. So that one's just going to be wherever there's lighter areas of green. Okay, we'll keep going. 3370, 3354, 3832, 762, 3755, 890, and 3836. Sorry for all the crinkle. All right, 319, that's a green, 435, 3831, 895, 3799, 211, Z817. There's two of these bags. So Z is their fairy dust drills, and I'm going to see, you can see that there's like a silver mica powder glitter on top of all of these. It is not a loose glitter. It is actually made into the diamonds, but it does give off a very, I don't know, it's not as intense of a sparkle, but it does definitely reflect very beautifully. So this is a crescent moon shape, and that is all over inside these roses. So everywhere there was roses on the canvas, in here and there, there's some crescents here. There's a rose down in this corner, and then there's a rose here and roses up there. Yes, there is definitely this fairy dust in all of those roses. That's going to be very pretty. All right, 803, 3865, 3835, sorry, 155, 433, 304. Here's our next AB, AB666, and that is this dollar symbol, and it is kind of next to where those fairy dust ones are in all of the roses. That's going to be, oh my goodness, that's going to be wonderful. Okay, Z318 is our next pixie dust. This is the letter A. So there is in her little bows here on her dress. There's a little bit in her waistband, in her bracelet here. And that looks like all that I see. There's maybe some here. Yeah, and there's a couple in her necklace here and in this bow on her sleeve there and there. Oh, and there is on the bottom of her dress here. And there's some more through this part of her dress up here. And there is some in her bow up here in her hair. Okay, and then 938, 434, 3347, 6021, 3743, 3866, 963, 801, 317, 3834, 712, 322, and 3346. And then I have one more, and these are the biggest bags, so they'll be the most full. So we have 738 and then 739, 340, 436, 775, 3747, 341, 334, 3756, and there's two of those. 498, and there's two of those. Z437. So this is also another one that has that glitter mica, and this one has like what looks like a gold glitter mica on it. And this one is a diamond symbol, and that is all through this chair that she's sitting on, in the filigree on the chair, all through the background of that chair there, and then it's also in her hair. And then it's also, there's some here. Okay, 154, 819, 3325, Z3865. It looks like there's two of those. And then the last ones are 310 and 814. So I will show you where's the last fairy dust. So that one is everywhere. Oh, wow. Okay. So everywhere you see white. So there's white here in this rose. There's white in these diamonds. There's white in that rose. There is white on her arm here, a little bit on her pinky here. There's some white here. There's some white here and here in her glove. There is white through her dress, all through here, all this, all that. Everywhere that you see this really true white, that is where that diamond is. So that's gonna be really pretty. Okay, so let me get this one put away and I will show you Hades and Persephone. All right, so I am back. So this one is 25.6 inches by 33.9 inches, or 65 centimeter by 86 centimeters. Everything on this box is the same. This box is blue because it is square shapes. It does say square, and the symbol around this is square. Everything else about this box is the same. It has a thumbnail. It does say it's 68 colors, including 3 Aurora Borealis and 4 fairy dust diamonds, with the total number of diamonds on here. So there's that. And then you can see all of the information about this kit is exactly the same as the other one, including having the thumbnail and the information on the bottom. So I'll go ahead. I did cut this open a little bit on top to just kind of get myself in here a little bit faster, since I have no idea how far along we're into this video already. I'll pull this out. All right. So I showed you the toolkit on the other kit, so I don't need to show you what's in here. Everything's the same. The tray, the wax, the pen, everything in here is the same. And this is a bigger kit, so it is definitely heavier. And I'll go ahead and get this out of here. So Let's see if I did get a Treasure Quest card in this one, and it is also a bronze. All right, so a little bit bigger of the image there. And so here is the 68 colors. It looks like there's the 4 fairy dust here. On this kit, this is one of their a little bit older kits before they moved the ABs down to the bottom of the kit. So there are a couple 6,000 numbers in here, but there are anything under, I think it's 150 is an AB. So you've got 3 ABs right there. So they used to do that. That's how they used to print all of their canvases. And they kind of moved away from that fairly recently. So not all of the kits have been updated to that change. So just kind of keep an eye out for that when you are ordering any kits from them. So this also comes in a dust sleeve, dust cover bag. Oh, some things I forgot to mention about the other canvas. I apologize for this. It's been a minute since I've recorded. This is soft and flocked on the back, so it's not like your typical scratchy canvas. The edges of their diamond paintings are it's scalloped and poked is what other people say. There is a term for it, but I can't think of it at the moment. So here is the top portion. This looks like it is going to be quite a bit of confetti, but it does look like there's going to be some confetti color blocking through here. This is one of the reasons because it's square shaped, and I've been not buying square shaped diamonds, but this is such a pretty image that I really, really wanted it. And like I said, I love Margaret Morales's work, and I don't know, the vines and the greenery in the back. It looked so really very lovely. And I just love her hair. Just love her hair and the stark contrast she is to the rest of this image, how much she pops off the page. And look at that butterfly right there. So gorgeous. I never even noticed there's a skull in here. That's cool. There's more butterflies over there. This is such a pretty image. Oh my goodness. Look at this giant bag of diamonds. Okay, so just like the other canvas, it does have the branding at the top. The schematic on the top left and on the bottom right over here. And then again, it has the warranty information on the very, very bottom right. There's like a 10% coupon code here if you've never used it before, and then information about their socials, and then also the information about the kit and another thumbnail on the bottom left. This is a really big image. This is definitely bigger than the last one, but look at how pretty she is. Oh my goodness. I cannot get over how gorgeous she is. And she really does, like, her hair and she just pops right off the page. I love it. Love it. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into these diamonds. So square diamonds, I've not worked on one of their newer kits recently, so I'm hoping that these square diamonds line up very nicely. If they have a nice tight grid and they line up well, that's my preferred way to work on diamonds, square diamonds, but that's kind of why I've moved away from them, because a lot of companies struggle with that. So, all right, looks like there's just a couple ones, 817 and 452, just kind of hanging out by themselves. These are very sparkly diamonds. They're very pretty. I'll go ahead and open this up. All right, so, I'm just making a mess here. Sorry for all the crinkles. Okay, here are the diamonds, 3824, 209. There's Z3865, so there's our first pixie dust diamond or fairy dust diamond, and that's the same as last time. This is just like the single dot symbol. And this is very interesting. It is just sprinkled a little bit everywhere, wherever there's just like white. So there's like little the blotches of it. There's like 3 here or 5 over there or a little bit here. Just throughout the whole thing, there's a little bit here. There's like a few of them through here. They're sprinkled all over her dress here. Yeah, they're just kind of sprinkled in a little bit everywhere. That's really cool. Okay, and then 722, 147. So that's going to be one of our ABs. And 147 looks like it's the number 3. So there's a few little 3. There's like in this butterfly on her dress here. It's in her dress through here. So wherever you see this like lighter purple, there's some there, there's some there. There's some down here on her dress. Just kind of sprinkled into those where there's lighter purples. There's a little bit here. Uh-oh. Drop that. 931, 967, 721, 647, 350, 318, 317, 3341, 160, 648, Z967. So this looks like where there's X's. Okay, so there's X's in all of the little flowers. It's like the lighter coloring through here. 125 is going to be another AB that we have. This is wherever the number 2 is. Trying to see if there's any up in the sky. It doesn't. There's a couple like right here. Don't see any more through here. There's a couple in her hair here. There's a couple in his hair here. Just trying to see if maybe there were some in her dress. Has to be somewhere else that I'm just not seeing. Oh, there are some. There's a fairly big spot here. They're kind of sprinkled through here, sprinkled through here. So they're more on this side of her dress here. Okay. And then 414, 103, another AB. And that is going to be our number 1 symbol. And that is going, so they're like the peachier parts of the roses. So through here, through right here, right there. So yeah, in all of these flowers, there's that AB. And then this one has 823 at the end here. And then $352, 921, 3866, 168. There's 2 bags of that. 415. There's 2 bags of that. Oh, make that 3 bags. There's 413, 336, 2 bags of that. 743, 3743, 2 bags of that. That's a really pretty mauve color. 3799, 930, 2 bags of that. 3750, 2 bags of that. 919, 920, 316, 898, 3042. There's hardly any in these bags. 762, 6014, 783, 356, 3778, 3861, 3830, 3837, 782, 6021, 935, 780, 208, 451, 469, Z3825. This is where there's X's, so those are also going to go in the lighter peachy areas of these flowers, all over the peachy areas of the flowers. Yep, every single one. So they're along the light edges of the peach. And then Z3345. So this is going to be everywhere, sprinkled into any greenery that you see on the leaves of these flowers. Very pretty. Okay, I think this is the last bag, last row, sorry. 823, 844, 353. There's 2 bags of that. 918, 3022, 2 bags of that. 3371, 939, 3857, 453, 3033, 3024. There's 2 bags of that. 159, 2 bags of that. 310, 2 bags of that, and 2 bags of 926. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this image sideways. You can maybe get a more comprehensive photo of it. It still doesn't fit in my frame. But as you can see, this one also laid nice and flat. This also has the perforated pages or perforated cover sheet. It's a nice thick cover sheet. It's really easy to work with. I love the cover sheets that they have on these. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the unboxing. Please let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions. Wherever you go to take care of your mental health is a Sparkle Sanctuary. So make sure you're taking time to take care of you. And I'll see you in part 2. Bye.